attorney.
Okay, welcome back. We are recording, yes sir. Let's continue. Last time was fun. We had a good time. Silly people. Let's see if today is different. What today brings is it's a mystery. Tidings won't reach you again. Mark it from heaven to hell. Conflict equals win, or conflict win. That's bad luck. Barely good luck. What do you mean barely good luck? That's definitely bad luck. Mark it going from heaven to hell. The tidings won't reach us, and conflict is win. Aw. I mean, I guess if we win the conflict, that's another. That's a good way to look at it. But damn. How are we looking in Emma section? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yet to unlock. So there's still stuff to go through, but we may unlock multiple of them at after a single event. We'll see. Okay, let's continue. Let's see if we get a Bazette scene or if there's more stuff on the main map. Oh shit. 6/Angra. Oh great, and it's glitching. Oh no. Oh fuck. Okay. Backstory seemingly. For our Avenger boy. The first year was spent deciding who to hate. Yeah, so it was previously mentioned that initially he hated everyone for many years, but over the time things might have changed and he became indifferent to it, or hating became like a part of him. So it's not like he had any specific one to hate, but he just hated everyone. Yeah. First year was spent deciding who to hate. Oh, we're like way back. Also, this almost feels like didn't we see this specific shot when we went back to either Bazette or Lancer's backstory? Are we in Ireland? Surely not. Surely this is just shared same shared image for supposedly Avenger. For a long time, he had been living in happiness. Yeah. He was born in a plain, not so wealthy family. Huh? He had parents that were normal and a sister much younger than him. He woke up early in the morning, helping his father in the forest, carrying back the yield of the day to the village. Yeah. That world of his was simple. His everyday life didn't change until unjustifiably people just decided to trump all of the world's sins on him. That work had gone on for decades. His father and his father's father probably entered the forest and lived under the grace of the mountain the same way. Just like his father and grandfather, he was also going to live a dull and boring life. It's interesting that we're actually diving into the person who would later become Angra. Like, previously it was made quite a point that he was just some random kid. So it's interesting that we're focusing on the person he was before that. That would make me think that this past life of his actual personality before suffering torment for eternity, that life of his will somehow become a key point in the finale here. Maybe. We could just get a nice backstory. It doesn't need to connect, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. There was the restlessness of youth, but he knew that he would, that would leave... Sorry. There was the restlessness of youth, but he knew that would leave him as the years passed. A roof to sleep under, enough food not to starve, and the warmth of his neighbors. That was all he could ever ask for. Yeah, and that's enough. But why? Why did it have to turn out like that? Villagers were at least entitled to this dull life. It hadn't been a rich village, but it brimmed with the rightness of being able to live normally and die quietly. The other villagers weren't any different from him. The other villagers thought of him as one of them. This vexes him even now. Yeah, it makes it even more absurd. Like, why me? Why not some random criminal? Why this kid? I guess if there's any logic to be put behind it, it's he was a sinless, a pure kid, and that's specifically why we should shoulder all the sins on him. Nothing had suddenly gone wrong. There was no mistake anywhere. Oh. The choice that was made had been, undeniably, the will of humanity, including himself. Including himself is very intriguing. That's why it still vexes him even now. Had it at least been the will of heaven, he could have cursed God's cruelty and been done with it. Yeah. Oh, filthy demon. Holy filthy demon. It came without any warning. Let me up the music a bit because it's quiet on my end. As naturally as saying good morning to another. For filthy demon, first eyes? The eyes. Yeah. First, the eyes. What did you do to the eyes? Leaving the house, he went towards the woods, like always. He said hello to a passing neighbor, but was ignored. The disaster took place in the middle of the village. Oh boy. Villagers he had never met surrounded him, and he would never return there again. Filthy demon. First, the eyes. Hey, leave the left eye. The ceremony was performed calmly. Apparently, he had been the devil himself. Ah yes, of course. This fact, unknown even to him until now, left the people in grief and disgust. Finally, their anger rose up and his fate was decided. This is a horrible time to use the word fate. What are we looking at in the background here? I don't know. Damn noisy he is. We should take care of the throat. Oh. There was more doubt than fear within him. Why? Why do this? Yeah. I don't see any rationale. I mean, he's literally the devil, blah blah blah, but why did this happen? Why? Why did it have to be him, of all people? After all, No matter how hard he thought about it, there wasn't a trace of pretext to be found. Damn noisy he is. We should take care of the throat. Emptiness. And on top of that, how? Yeah, as long as he can breathe, I guess. That's insane. How could they do such a thing? Like, what do you mean as long as he can breathe? Just neuter the throat, crush it, but leave him able to breathe? Just because he was noisy, we should crush his throat? Hello? Cut the tendons in his arms and legs. Only the tendons, mind you. Yeah, so he can't escape or do anything with them. Holy. His body belongs to everyone in this village. You must leave enough for everyone. Like, surely there's some rationale in this beyond he's the devil. Surely I can cope with them having some reason, like there wasn't enough food suddenly because of some shortage and they needed to eat humans to survive and he was chosen. I don't know, maybe. I mean, that's horrible in and of itself, but like, at least that would be a reason. Several men took care of the ceremony. Cursed by almost everyone he knew. His arms and legs lost their function, even while retaining their shape. That's a good that's a good line. I feel like arms and legs lost their function while retaining their shape. That I feel like that fits the story right now, the fake reality. Yeah. This is your punishment for not endowing our lives with abundance. Oh, okay, yeah, cool, yeah. Sure, because we aren't bountiful, because we're only able to live normal lives. That's why you're being punished. They said, and they meted out appropriate punishment to every part of his body. Cut his tongue off too, as if we'd give him the satisfaction of letting him die. Damn. God damn. Insulted by many of those he knew, he was covered in filth. So brutal. And it's only going to get more brutal, I feel like. Oh. This is what you get for threatening our lives. What do you mean? What do you mean? They said, and every part of his body was rewarded. And every part of his body rewarded their discontent. Serves you right, you damned demon. Yeah, I mean, I want to just say fuck this village, but apparently this is just the true nature and true absurdity of humanity. At least that's how it was presented before, but give me a reason to say that it's not all of humanity who can have these feelings, and I can just hate these specific villagers because they were overtaken by mob mentality or something. That was the end of him as an individual human. Yeah. His emotions were destroyed by the pain of losing his body. Yeah, that would do it. That alone would do it. But then, afterwards, his body was probably desecrated and into his body was carved into it, and just every possible sin and curse and whatever. His rational mind was destroyed from the sorrow of losing his dignity. Ooh, that's a good line in itself. But yeah, rational mind destroyed from the sorrow of losing his dignity. How could humanity act like this? There wasn't any reason. This doesn't make sense. Rational mind can't comprehend. Yeah. You can only like laugh and cry in this situation, or just become a vegetable, just mute to everything. Static, very good. Slaughter, I'll slaughter you. Yeah, not sure who, but someone, everyone perhaps. And so he had been kneeling for who knows how long. That's very cool. That looks like jaws of a creature and spikes, yeah. And these are cursed humans or souls. That looks like a bell, but also, I don't know, maybe a human. Not a single moan escaped him. He focused all of his being, all of his, well, not rational mind nor his body, but everything else he had left, focused that into gathering and focusing hatred towards humanity. The branch piercing through his throat had started to rot. Holy shit, oh my god. That's quite a line to visualize. Ugh. Okay, cool. His tongue had been ripped out long ago. His vocal organs had become inflamed after a night of screaming. Sure. Why? People that knew him, people that didn't know him. He was abused by everyone alike. Yeah. The administering of justice needs no reason. I hate that we're going that way. Like, what do you mean, justice? Good thinking, humanity. Good thinking. They, with their righteous anger and morals, hated the demon confined atop the mountain without an ounce of shame. Yeah. The likes of you should not live, they laughed. Yet, they would not even do him the kindness of killing him. Oh my god. Yeah. His rational mind broken, body rotting, inflamed, probably covered in maggots. Tried to bleed out but couldn't, and the blood has long since started drying up, and he's just there, can't do anything. I mean, I'm currently imagining a Jesus crucifixion pose, but more brutal. You know, like a not glorified version of that. Hatred begets more hatred. Yeah, sure. Yeah. The cycle of violence. It never ends. Killing never stops. It started long before this, and it will continue long after this. You know? And I know where we are going, and he starts to hate everything about humanity, but there's no end there. Like, the only way to escape or to break the cycle is to escape, to put an end to it, not by killing yourself and ending the hatred there, but to run away or forgive. But even forgiveness is like, does it really work? You just need to go somewhere else. I don't know. Going beyond terror and confusion, a hatred was eventually born within him. But who must this hatred be directed at? Yeah, that is the question. Why? Why? Oh, yeah. Every bit of curse, like towards just anyone and everyone, asking who am I directing this towards to? Oh, why? Flashing between different scenes too, yeah. He thought and spoke this question too many times to count. Even as one of his eyes was crushed, and as his fingers were cut off by some scissor-like tool, the words he managed to squeeze out of his throat were, "Why me?" None of the villagers would tell him. Their reasoning was he's a devil. I mean, at least as far as we know. Please stop. Oh, yeah, something building and welling up inside him. This feels like almost like a inside his blood veins or throat or something, and something is flowing up towards his brain or mouth, or, you know, towards his heart maybe. Please send me back. Please save me. He did not put voice to those wishes he had already given up hope on. Oh, man. You've gone so far. You're so angry, and you're so done with everything that you don't even want, or like you don't even want to vocalize them stopping or sending you back or saving him or undoing this injustice. Well, they said it was justice, but you know, it really is injustice. Yeah, the hatred takes over you, the scaredness, the resignation. He had accepted it when the last of his fingers and toes, the big toe on his left foot, was cut off by the person who had once been his father. Man, of course. He had only a single wish left. Why me? That question alone was his final request. But nobody would tell me. Yeah, him. Yeah, and that's so sad. That's the worst part. Is no one is even telling him what he did wrong. The moment he realized the answer, he became a real demon. He let the final bit of humanity slip away, and, well, if you let something go, something else must take its place. There was no reason as to why he was a demon. There was no reason for him to be chosen as the sacrifice. To begin with, the village elders, the people in power, never even knew him. Anyone would have been fine. Yeah. It was not that he was hated because of his sins. Yeah, no, he was rather innocent. Neither was he isolated because of his good deeds. Okay, yeah, that puts rest to the idea I said earlier. So not because he was innocent. As a completely dull, ordinary person, he was chosen completely by chance. And was that fate too? Or was that fate too, or was it because it's exactly by chance that it is the opposite of fate? Just for the sake of a one-day luxury, people he never met ended the life of a human they never knew. Fuck the rational world and humanity, but what you gonna do? I mean, I know what he is going to do. He is going to curse every single bit of humanity and hate them. That's all there is to it. Merely to fulfill the desires of a single knight. His life, fostered well for decades, was trampled upon and crushed. I mean, based on these lines, at least, I don't want to say at least, because there's no goodness in this, but like, if we have to grasp at any straws, it's like, at least it seems like it wasn't by the sheer absurdity of randomly choosing someone. They made a fake excuse, sure, but at least they had a goal. They wanted to fulfill the desires of a single knight. They wanted to gain something out of it, either a good harvest or abundance for the village, or, you know, a bit of luxury, dopamine for them. You know, at least they had a concrete goal, and his death would benefit someone. So it wasn't a pure random act of injustice in that sense. So if there's anything to grasp to, it's that knowledge, even though it still doesn't help the situation at all. This world is governed by things that are not people. Yeah, even though they are humans, what they did was not humane at all. Even if it could be argued that it is in human nature to be like that. The moment he realized that, he decided upon the target of his hatred. Not one specific human like his father, not the elders, not the village, but the entirety of humanity itself, I would presume. All the evil in the world, that's even better. Not just humanity, all the evil in the world. Angra Mainyu. The revered effigy thus became a genuine demon. But if we are, like, representing this boy himself, our avenger, as Angra Mainyu, like, would that mean that he would direct all of his hatred towards himself or what he has become? But he's also contradicting, because he says that he hates the whole world, but an egg that will never hatch. Kill, huh? An anti-hero of this small world that would rid it of all sins. He had no limbs to struggle in pain. His limbs were completely severed. Only his heart was still alive, and even that was it was just alive in the barest minimum of senses. Like, his actual rational heart was destroyed long ago. Well, at least there's still some emotion in it. Hatred. No arms, no legs, no dignity left. He had no functions as a human, but his sense of pain alone had yet to fail him. Fate has a surprising amount of... I don't want to say similar to this, but there's definitely different branches of this idea going around. No functions as humans except X, Y, or Z. In Kuzuki's case, he had the single function and idea that he was supposed to work this way. We have Karen, who was berated and, made basically into a tool. Similar-ish thing with Bazette to a lesser degree, but you know, still. Then with Angramanyu here, or the boy who was to become Angramanyu, and kinda Shiro as well. Even though Shiro definitely has clear goals and, you know, desires, he is a very broken individual too. Yeah. And also going outside Fate, there's also in Karano Kyokai there's well, I guess would we count Shiki towards it? Maybe, but at least fuck, I forgot her name. The one from the third movie, the other Mystic Eyes user. She also had like a thing about her that, you know, no sense of pain and you know, barely any functions as a human. I don't know. That was a bit different though. He took on a countless amount of hatred. Yeah. While bringing forth hatred just as infinite. Oh, this is a different mountain, but it kind of looks like the mountain behind Fuyuki, or behind Ryudo Temple's cliff. He collapsed. His collapsed personality gained order in its own broken way. Sure, he was stone. Never going outside the stone prison. His body wasn't allowed to move at all. Oh, just pure darkness, blackness, and a single eye staring at you. The eyelid of his remaining left eye was fixed, not allowing it to close. Yeah. His dry, cracked eyeball continued to stare at the outside world. This is my target. I will never lose sight of this. Oh, he was just like a stone statue. A stone statue that was conscious. That's sad. Without taking a single step, he watched the unchanging scenery for a month, a year, decades. What would the villagers think if they came here and they just saw him staring? Obviously, he probably looked outwardly like he was dead. But, you know, he could neither avert nor close his eye. The treatment that would make him forget the fact that he was still alive before the tedium sickened his mind would, in fact, continue until his death. That's... oh... What frightened him, however, was the fact that this torture, difficult to bear for even a single day, would last for his entire lifetime. Wow. A healthy person's sanity would surely fall apart in no more than 7 days. Yeah, just, you know, in modern day, just isolation, doing nothing can do a bunch of numbers on your mentality, but this is like an unbelievable amount of worse than that. What allowed him to endure it, what preserved his soul, was the fact that his sanity had already been broken. Aww. Does that really count as enduring it? I mean, yeah. I've recently watched a YouTube video on actually a similar-ish topic, where someone was trapped in their own body. They were thought to be in a vegetative state and unresponsive, but in reality, they had always been there. They were fully paralyzed or something couldn't move, but they were still there, listening every single day, seeing everything every single day, and over a decade later, they they got a new nurse or something, and somehow was able to establish contact, and it was, honestly, it was a beautiful recovery story, but also very tragic. And this really reminds me of that story. Unchanging scenery wouldn't break him. Oh, the whole thingy flashing by there. Yeah. That which spread beneath his eye was his hometown. Yeah. The people that called him a demon as they turned him into a real one. The village that the hatred came from. He had an unbroken view of it all. That actually might have been a benefit to him, you know, being able to at least focus on something. A repulsive mass of goodwill, prospering by sacrificing the weak. He will continue to hate as long as he lives. And yet unknowns to him, far beyond that, because he became an anti-hero. This absurdity, the hidden repulsiveness of mankind, the overly tolerant world that approved of it. Yeah, this line here is always a tough one because, like, obviously, if this was to happen in front of someone who was against it, they might do something about it, but, you know, there are many people who wouldn't do anything, and it's... how do I want to phrase this? The fact that there's something happening, speaking in real life terms, the fact that I know that there's wars happening in specific parts of the world right now, currently, and I'm just here at home ignoring all of that, ignoring all the death, destruction, despair, horrible human nature. It's like I'm technically approving all of it because I'm not actively trying to prevent it, but it's such a tough situation. Like, how am I supposed to do anything about it? Like, I could be making a change for the better. I could be lobbying and campaigning about making different kinds of rules, but I don't know. All that's left in this stone prison is the hatred that has been scorched in. Neither the personality nor the body that once belonged to him are in here. Yeah. The soul in his physical body was annihilated long ago. Yeah, it all culminated into chaining, chaining, whatever, hauling down Angramainu into this body, into this location, into this world. It has already become something else. Only the hatred born from within him continues to smolder within his body, even to this day. Yeah, bit by bit everything was replaced from the original boy. Only a fraction of his lingering hatred is still part of what we know as Angramainu right now. Is that still him? It's kind of a ship of Theseus, except not really, because, you know, he wasn't replaced by identical parts. But, you know, Yeah, static is the perfect way to describe that. Who knows how many years passed like that? To him, also, what is this music? Oh my god. To him, having lost his sense of time, the world continued its dizzying transformation even as it stagnated. The ties he had from back when he was a human were no exception. The people that chose him, the people that took away his legs and arms, the people that were his blood relatives, the people that hated him, the people that he loved. Their hatred did not last as long as that held by the human they sacrificed. Yeah, no wonder. Yeah. Those who stole everything from him disappeared from this world before he did. And with no target or no direct first target to direct his hatred at, now it just becomes all of human nature, all of the evil in the world. Like shooting stars, the strong, merciless flicker of the ever-coming days burned into his eyeball. For a long time, he was left in that sunny spot. How is the word apropos? How poignant. All the evil left in sunlight. All the shadow left in sun. He saw so many lives. The result of too many meaningless lives. Consuming time and space, burning up their own lives recklessly, bearing children, amassing riches, yet ending without a trace. Hollow. Half title drop. Hollow as they may have been, they were not void. That was the fourth chapter? Fifth chapter? Fourth, I think, maybe. I don't know. I think it was 5/void. Yeah. Although they ended, it wasn't as though they did not continue. Yeah. The wheel of time keeps turning. I've never read the book series of Wheel of Time, but I really hope this line is mentioned, or this idea is mentioned in that, because that's a really sick idea. Yeah, flickering. Lives wither, then bloom again. The cycle of prosperity and decay. The scenery before him kept on spinning. There were times of destruction, overrun by believers of a different faith. Yeah, we've seen and heard that story multiple times in real life, especially. There were times of expansion, taking in fresh blood. Throughout it all, he continued to stare with hatred. Hatred was the only means by which he could connect to it. Hatred kept him tethered to reality. There is evil atop this mountain, breathing malice into all of us. You know what would be funny? I don't think this is the case. I think if I were... I mean, it's intentionally kept vague where this all took place and when it took place, but because I made the connection that this kind of looked like Ryudo Temple, it would be really fucking hilarious if that was actually the location. Yeah, there is evil atop this mountain, breathing malice into all of us. That became a teaching passed down in the village since old times. As long as there was hatred, as long as he was hated, he would not die. Yeah, he is in a sense immortal. People will not stop hating, and as long as they don't stop hating, he continues living. The new villagers hated, worshipped, and thanked him as their everyday enemy. Because we know that there is a tangible enemy here, because we know that the enemy is over there and not within us, we can continue to live in peace. The young man who had become the demon didn't even exist there anymore. Hatred that gave birth to nothing. Well, hatred gave birth to more hatred, I would assume, but a blank space that existed to help life advance smoothly day after day. An open hole in their everyday life. A dumping ground that received all their overflowing emotions. Yeah, it really helps to put people's minds at ease, knowing that the tangible evil, tangible hatred, tangible something is out there and not right here within the village. It's just outside the village, not here. Oh, that's that game. The 24 pieces game, yeah. What a convenient false void. False void. That could never become anything. That village too disappeared in a flash, yeah. Time keeps on marching. Neither decaying nor prospering. Times changed, people changed, and the mountain village, having fulfilled its role, went back to being an open field. Everything he hated disappeared without a trace. And yet I assume he couldn't stop hating. This brings back to my mind an idea from the Monogatari series where there's this character. I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to spoil that series. It's so good. There's this character and there's this idea with them that humans have problems, humans have hatred, humans have negative feelings and issues, but with enough time, those usually just dissipate. Time is usually enough to solve every problem. You can just run away and let things decay, progress further, and either people forget it, stop worrying about it, or literally time crumbles the issue away. Like there's, on a conceptual level, barely anything that is an issue as grave enough that would not be solved by the passage of time, but somehow, all the evil in the world, our Angra Mainyu, is able to keep on chugging with that hatred. Probably because he exists and he's being fueled by new hatred all the time. His name and body had been lost, and he had even lost sight of his soul. Oh. And in the end, even hatred left him behind. And there's the idea that I was just talking about. And yet, he is still connected to this place. One might say, if hatred left him behind, that what he feels now is hollow hatred. You know? Hollow hatred, real peace. Hollow peace, real hatred. That's the game. That's the game. That's Hollow Ataraxia. Many years passed. People perished. The village perished. But even after his own body died, he cannot move from here. The hatred burned into this place is unchanging and undying. As long as the world of humans continues on, it will exist forever. Damn right it will. But again, I think the logic follows through with the idea from Monogatari. Even this idea, with enough time, with the eventual perishing of humanity, it too will dissipate over time when there's no more humans to spread or gather more malice. You know, entropy will claim everything. In this empty wasteland, oof, forever gazing at the end of the world. Oh, what a line, what a line. Ha, 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 ha. Why did we specifically pan to Rin? Or the last video, 2 videos ago? Why? And like that, I finally opened my eyes. Okay, this seemed like, well, obviously, this whole thing was about Angramainu, but this line and that flashing seemed like a POV of Angramainu. Please don't let us wake in Shiro's body or something. Please don't wake up in Shiro's household. Please. Okay. Okay, that was Bazette gaining here his memories, connections to the servant. Okay. For a moment I was like, no, we're not confirming that Shiro is Angramainu. No, we're not doing that. Indeed. Well, I guess for her it was more of a panicked exasperation. We are still recording, yeah. Oh boy. I jumped my feet off the couch. Okay, so we are from his POV, okay. No? My head throbs painfully. The chaos doesn't stop, and the room that I should already be used to appears as though a battlefield in the middle of a bombing. Yeah? Standing up, I run while swinging my right arm. I feel like we're in the POV of Bazette. And that was her remembering the last time the last run she saw Rin and something went wrong and oh no, I feel like this is a continuation right off of that. Oh boy. I move my arm recklessly as a person on fire and head to a corner of the room while shaking off my delusions. Oh no. And swinging my right arm because Rin made an observation about her left arm. Like, what's up with that? I don't know, but maybe a metaphorical one. And in the corner, there is my servant, sitting down like always. I have neither the composure nor affection to answer him. I push him aside, having no clue what I am trying to do myself, and stand in front of the mirror. We are back to the prologue image that I continue to use as my backgrounds in my thumbnails. Very interesting that it flashed for a second, not revealing the top half. Makes me still think that there's some identity switch here going on. Probably not, but we'll see. Honestly, this crack alone makes me think that eventually we're not gonna like flicker and switch Bassette's head to someone else, but probably not. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. The figure looking back at me is exactly the same as it was back when I stood here for the first time. You have not become someone else, you are still you. But yeah, I guess just ignoring my crackpot theory. Ignoring my crackpot theory just now. There is a very good through line, thematic one, or why she, or not even thematic, but a reasonable thing why she would think about this. It's because she just witnessed the backstory of Avenger and probably embraced most, or if not most, many of the emotions that Key 2 felt during that time. So obviously she would be hellishly confused. And that's why she wasn't sure if she was herself or who she was supposed to be. There are no irregularities, but it could still be related to what happened after she ran off hysterically after Rin pointed out her left arm. There is nothing wrong with me whatsoever. I mean, ignoring the rampaging just now, I hope so. But if I remember correctly, when I first saw this mirror, I felt uneasy. Uh-huh. What happened to that arm of yours? Okay, we're bringing that Rin line back.
私の
Huh?
左手
Hidari te. Not ude, but te, yeah. Hand. I feel dizzy. Are we about to get some crazy reveal here? Something that was locked away comes pouring out. Oh no. That's right. I noticed it at that time. There's something extra on the me reflected in the mirror, and something that should be there is missing. I mean, her left arm at the very least was showing there, right? What made that uneasiness so vague?
落ち着いたか。なら、さっさと続きをしようぜ。
Are you trying to switch the subject? Let us reflect.
お互いやられっぱなしは性に合わねえだろ、マスター。
Was it not the servant that's now laughing behind me? I mean, maybe. I mean, her arm seems to be it's thinner. Maybe it's just a perspective. I keep staring at the reflection in the mirror. Yeah, keep reflecting on your physical appearance, but also your mental and what's going on. My disordered mind, unable to bear the concentration, sends me into another bout of vertigo. Don't faint. And there, within my vision, flashing on and off, I see a terrible image. That looks like a missing arm. Or a mutated one. But that that's the right hand. No, wait, that's mirror. That's left hand. That is left hand. Mirrors. I know how they work. Oh. Yeah, it's missing. Fuck. Welp. Does this this left hand that exists but actually doesn't exist, is this the same kind of deal that is going on with the entirety of Fuyuki? You know, dead people being around, or things not supposed to be there actually being there. Is that what's going on? And if so, are we just hallucinating the existence of Kuzuki, the existence of the left arm, the something or other? And has that always been the case? Or is it... I'm kind of going back to the idea of not looping, not different timelines, but actually time is progressing forward, but we think we are looping or restarting, and thus it's not a supernatural restart, but in actuality the damages that have been done, they are still there, but we are just hallucinating them as if they do not exist. Nothing has happened yet. I never lost my arm. Of course my left hand is there, but in reality her left hand was lost in one of the tries, and it's now permanently gone. Kuzuki is his corpse is should be laying somewhere, but in actuality it's Castor manipulating his body with threads, and everyone just thinks he's alive, and surely we're not going there. I don't know. This game makes me theorize out the wazoo. My ragged breathing starts to calm down. I'm not sure if you need to. Just take your time. I touch my left arm with my right hand. It's only an illusion. The left arm is certainly there. It certainly is there. But so is a lingering feeling of discomfort that I can't seem to erase. It could actually be just the case that we are, like, obviously I'm still within the line of thought that we are restarting and looping, and these are different timelines. But another thing I could see here is that the memories of previous runs, previous loops, they're just melding and scrambling the brain so hard that she thinks she should have lost her arm, but in actuality it is actually there, you know?
何？腕、どうかしたのか？
I don't know, you tell me. A voice from behind me. My mind, having just settled down, picks up speed once again.
別に何も。
Yeah?
そんなことより、あなた。
You, on the other hand. Good line by the English translation. I turn around, opening my eyes. I look firmly at him. Oh, we get him in full view. Not particularly see-through or not fully shadowed. I think this is our first time we are fully seeing him. And oh boy, is he not a Shiro face. Holy shit. Obviously, it's slightly different here, and the expression is so evil, but... Hello, Avenger. Hello. Black wrappings around his hands. Red stuff here. Really makes me think of Shiro or Archer. You know? But maybe it's a red herring. I mean, yeah. Opening my eyes, I look firmly at him. The boy laughs like a clown. Our first proper look at him. That face. Perhaps it might be familiar to someone other than me.
そうか。昼間のうちに他のマスターに会ったんだな。
Ooh. He knows. And that's the scary part. He always seems to know. This servant knew everything from the beginning. Oh no. What are we doing, Gabe? I realized that long ago. Yet, I still...
だから昼間は出歩くなって忠告したのに。まあしょうがねえか。あのお嬢さんの話は本当だぜ。あんたが派遣された聖杯戦争はもう半年も前に終わっている。
Okay, and now Bazette is forced to confront this truth. I still wanted to trust this servant, but he keeps info away from you.
では、この聖杯戦争を起こしているのは
I mean, you guys have been my number one. Well, I guess Shiro too, but you and Shiro have been my number one suspects.
俺たち以外に誰がいる？
I mean, you guys were the obvious choice. Oh my god, look at that smug face.
いや、大体聡明なあんたのことだ。そんなのはすぐに気づいたはずだ。なのに自分をごまかして記憶さえ閉じ込めて一生懸命おままごとを続けやがった。
And yet she's running around fooling herself, denying her own memories. Damn.
しかしまあ、それもこれですっきりだ。
What do you mean it's all over? Oh, you know, the fooling yourself, okay.
もういいだろう、マスター。この茶番はさ、聖杯戦争を続けたいあんたが引退した連中を引き戻して遊んでいるだけってわけだ。
Bazette. But what was her actual reasoning to keep wanting to fight? Was it just because she missed the original fight? Was it perhaps learning initially of the death of Kirei and then sealing that memory away? Pretending it never happened? Was it... What was it? Wicked laughter. He's getting on my nerves. That's what he's good at. He's getting on my nerves. He's getting on my nerves. Getting on my nerves.
私を騙していたのか、アベンジャー。
Look at him. He's so happy.
人聞きの悪い。単にあんたが聞かなかっただけだろう。5回目の聖杯戦争がどうなったのかを聞いてくれれば、あんたがどうやって殺されたか教えてやったのに。
I mean, nice censoring game, but I clearly heard the words he spoke there. Korosareta. How you were killed, or how you died, whichever way they want to translate it. Yeah. Okay. So, what actually happened in Fate Stay Night was that Kirei was not a master from the very beginning. I think. And it was Bazette and Lancer, right? It doesn't need to be Bazette and Lancer. Like there doesn't need to be any connection. It could have been just Avenger with Bazette. But yeah, stuff happened. She competed, but she died on the 4th day. But what I'm thinking is how it happened is confrontation with Kirei, and Kirei killed her and yoinked Lancer away to himself. It hurts. Realizing you're supposed to be dead. Realizing you actually are dead. My chaos-filled head hurts. My eyeballs that glare at him hurt. My disordered breathing hurts. And above all, a throbbing pain in my left arm, as if it's just been amputated. Also, holy shit, the parallels are insane. Wait, let me cook here. In Fate Zero, there was an incident. Although, fuck, I think it was the other hand. In Fate Zero, there was this Irish woman who just, happens to look quite a bit like Bazette. Her name was Solawi. And she was the master of Lancer. Not this Lancer, but obviously a similar-ish looking Lancer, who was also from Ireland. What happened to her was that on day X, I don't know which day it was, she kinda retired. Her hand, I don't remember, I think it was the right hand, but I hope, for the sake of this parallel, it was the left hand. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Hand was cut off by, well, not Kirei, but Kiritsugu, actually. Or actually it was Maya, but Kiritsugu's party. And she was just murdered. She lost the Holy Grail War. She was the first one to die, or first one alongside, Kenneth, yeah. No, she wasn't. Actually, the first one was, the Caster and Ryunosuke, yeah. But, very early on still. Like, if that is not, like, I could actually see Bazette being Solaui, like, in reality, actually, and this being her regret, but that would be a crazy, like, where the fuck did that come from? But it doesn't need to be that Bazette can be her own character, and we're gonna treat Bazette as her own character, and we can just treat the Solaui from Fate Zero as like a parallel. Now that I understand this story, the Solaui is just a very nice parallel. Yeah.
苦しいか？だが大丈夫。あんたならすぐに落ち着くさ。きっかけはあっけなかったが、気づいたのならこれで。
Nice intentional lag game. Her brain is not able to keep up due to the pain. She wasn't able to fully grasp his words there. The shadow holds his hand out. Did his shadow previously have this hair? I think it might have, I'm not sure. The feeling of my left arm shoots through my brain. It is there, supposedly. Oh. I trusted him. I thought of him as of a comrade, but I mean, he is kinda on your side, but at the same time, he's just, he hates all of humanity, and he, kinda went along with your emotions, your regrets, your hatred towards your unsuccessful run at the Fifth Holy Grail War.
お前も私を裏切ったんだ
Oh, maybe there's a deeper layer here. You betrayed me too. Maybe the original betrayer was Kirei. She dashed out. Okay. The moment I let loose those words, I lose all rational thought. And by the way, now that I think about it, the first time we saw her being like a ghost of a woman when she was walking away from the church, I think what happened there was Karen made her realize this whole situation, spilled the beans, told her that the Holy Grail War ended 6 months ago. She died then and there. Just being there, unable to bear even my own existence, I ran out, my feet taking me somewhere on their own. We're either heading towards Emiya Residence or Ryudo Mountain. As if just running away, or maybe Ilias first. My torn memories, the left arm spilling invisible blood. They have taken all rational thought away from me. I can't remember. I certainly heard it, yet I still can't recall the conversation I had with that girl. Dead, she said. Yeah, someone had died in the Fifth Holy Grail War. And someone had died, and the Fifth Holy Grail was over. I mean, Rin did say Kirei, but died? Ooh, you know what would be a crazy rug pull if Bazette was actually Kirei? Obviously, probably not the case, but, Ooh. I fled back then too. Not even hearing that the Holy Grail War ended was enough to disturb me. So, how did such a trifle end up destroying me so thoroughly? Bridge. Oh, we're going towards Shinto. I run. I have nowhere to go, yet I'm running towards one very certain place. The church. I mean, it could be the harbor or the tallest building, but the church. My left arm feels like it's being torn off. The sense of pain invades my mind, causing endless chaos and confusion. I, who left my hometown, an antique that had no place in the association. I was driven further and further into a corner as I tried to find my worth and could not. And what a tragic story. And she went to prove her worth and did not succeed. After leaving my hometown far behind, I then realized just how much I loved it, yet I could not go back. I had nothing definite. My own self was still vague. I built up an imposing exterior and nothing more. Yeah. And on that day, for the first time, I saw a strength I could rely on. Not needing anyone. Aww, that's so sad. I selfishly admired that, thinking how much easier my life would be if I could be the same. She's really going through the ringer. I cringe in pain. I have morphine in my bag. This would be the first time I've ever wanted a painkiller. But I can't inject it into my left arm, so I'd rather have it right in my spine. That way, it would hit my brain right away, and I can forget everything. Oh boy. Forget it, forget all about it. I don't want to hear about who died. Aww. I came to this town as a master. I couldn't care less about that man. But why was I the one chosen? Why were you the master? Bazet Freyga Macromids is a sealing designation enforcer. Any way you slice it, a Holy Grail war in a far-away eastern land is definitely outside of her jurisdiction. Were you even supposed to be here? Maybe not. Maybe you're following something, someone. Maybe Kirei. There has to be a reason. There has to be another reason I'm here. I mean, maybe we are just deluding ourselves. That reason made me so happy. I was so happy to be able to meet him again after all these years. I'm a mess who died. I'm a mess who died. I'm a mess who died. Oh, how wonderful I can hear a silver-colored song. Oh, fuck. I'm finally here. Maybe she didn't even need to confront Karen here. It was just enough to see that the priest here was not Kirei. Fuck. The place that I never entered up until now. Well, the place I wanted to visit for a long, long time. From what I've heard, it's a small yet elegant chapel. He abstained from luxury and lived a life of self-imposed stringency. I'm sure the building will be very much like him. Aww. Unrequited love story. A woman of the Mages Association falling in love with a man of the church. Romeo and Juliet. Well, not quite, but you know. The two who shouldn't be. Gloomy decorations, attention in the air. These were all aspects of him. The vestiges of the man I trusted, making me nostalgic just by thinking about it. Yeah, but when you enter, you hear a glorious grand tune, played by Karen. Why didn't I come sooner? This is where I'll find him. She's gonna be so broken when she sees Karen here. In the 5th Holy Grail War, the priest will always welcome those who visit this church, and holy shit, it's fully broken. This isn't what I heard. Nothing but ruins and an unfamiliar girl waiting for me in his place. Fuck. She's gonna go through the worst night of her life.
あなた
The pain is at its climax. It's as if my left arm is falling off.
神父の代役です。琴峰綺麗はここにはいない。もうこの世のどこにも存在しない。
That's... Yeah. How the fuck do you start with that kind of a line? Just cut straight into the heart of the matter.
目を覚ましなさい、バゼット。あなたが望むものは初めからなかった。琴峰綺麗がただの一度もあなたを愛したことがなかったように。
Fuck. We don't want to know this. I mean, we want to know it, but we don't want to accept it. Yeah. Rationale, reality, mirror, broken. I was chosen because of the recommendation he gave me.
監督役から直々に指名があるとはね。何か個人的な交友でもあったのかな、バゼット君。
バゼット君 You sound such an annoying piece of shit, whoever voices this random supervisor person or superior of Bazet. Not even the vulgar sarcasm of the association fazed me. I was happy to be chosen by the man that never chose anyone. Is it gonna be an even more tragic story where she will learn that the only reason Kirei chose her was because he knew he could take advantage of her loving him and then usurp her place? Please don't let it be. Don't let it be so. Yeah. Fractured memories coming back and fracturing her even more. But we never continued from where we left off last time. Mixing business and personal affairs would only disappoint him. Having recognized my abilities, he recommended me as a master. Therefore, when I met him, it would be as the victor. Aww. Yeah, from your point of view, that would have been the perfect way for it to go. Yeah, he invites you because he trusts in your abilities. He grants you the position and the possibility to get the whole world by wishing with the Grail. And at the end, he would congratulate you. And you two would be together at the end of it all. I intended to see him only after winning the Holy Grail War. Everything was going smoothly. I made a contract with the ideal servant and set up my base in a Western-style mansion which had been used by a magus before. That makes me think of fuck, the Ojo-sama voice. Fuck, I forgot her name. Soon, all 7 masters would be present as I was preparing for the upcoming battle. He came to visit me in that room and... No! Kirei! Fuck! Yeah. Fuck you, Kirei. I mean, that's a Kirei-ass move, but fuck. He killed me. I've remembered. Fuck this game. There's no happiness. Those were my last moments. The fate of one miserable master that was called to the Holy Grail War, yet never had the chance to participate in it.
この茶番はさ、聖杯戦争を続けたいあんたが引退した連中を引き戻して。
It's exactly as Avenger says. Kotomine attacked me from behind, and I was on the verge of death. Holy fucking shit, he's such a backstabber, but yeah, that makes sense. My left arm, yeah, holding the command spells, had been torn off, and I was left alone in that mansion. Yeah, that's Kirei for you. Yeah, that makes sense. Fuck. My wound would bring death if I moved even slightly. Yet, it was also a fatal wound that would eventually kill me, even if I didn't, barely alive. I made a wish from the bottom of the consciousness that was running out together with my blood. Not for revenge. With the death overtaking me, I had no room for anger at being betrayed. Nor was it despair. Just hope to continue. My dimming mind felt no sadness at the betrayal. At that moment, I had but one thought remaining in my heart. I don't want to die. I don't want to die in a place like this. Fuck this game, making me cry again. I don't want to die in such a pitiful way. I can't bear dying alone like this. This word, alone. Time had stopped more than halfway towards death. I kept on screaming until the remains of my life were all used up. Yeah. And then a miracle of some sort.
俺のマスターになるのなら
Oh, Angramainu. A mysterious and unfamiliar something.
契約が続く限りその望みを叶えてやろう
I love the distortion on his voice. I'll grant you that wish. Happened to hear me. Black Moon. it was most likely what used to be the Holy Grail. Corrupted. The formless void inside the Holy Grail, smashed by the winner of the 5th Holy Grail War. Damn. By all rights, once the Grail had been destroyed, it ought to have returned to the throne of heroes. This is the coolest concept in all of media, fiction, whatever. But that thing lived inside the Holy Grail. Also, winner of the 5th, but this happened before the 5th Holy Grail War had concluded, so I don't know if this is supposed to be 4th one, because Kiritsugu, well, Saber did the same, but, you know, I guess Shuro technically did it too. So yeah, since it's from the Throne of Heroes, the timeline doesn't really matter. It was fated to be destroyed. That thing lived inside the Holy Grail. Yeah, I forget the exact details. Was it was mentioned like in the finale of Fate Zero that it was like corrupted in the 3rd Holy Grail War or something by them summoning an Avenger? Maybe? Is that right? Maybe? No. Inside the wish-granting Grail, it had finally taken the form of the hero everyone had wished it to be. It was a servant reborn inside the Holy Grail. Oh, that's a cool-ass concept. The one called all the evil in the world, having become the demonic Grail that grants people's wishes, had answered my call. However much of an embodiment of the Holy Grail he may be, he was a servant. Without the master, he would disappear. Oh, I wonder if he just now manifested or if he had been there for a while, but, you know, about to disappear. Through an impossible miracle, an accident that would never happen again, he had finally become the hero that everyone wished him to be. And yet, he would disappear, having lasted not even one night. Okay, yeah, that answers that. Our mutual interests happened to coincide in the fact that neither one of us had a future. Both of you wanted to continue living. Well, of course, I was already about to meet my end. I was delirious. This game is taking the concept of deal with the devil to a whole new level, especially with the backstory we got for him. I deal with the fake devil, deal with the false devil, deal with the hollow devil. I had no time to contemplate that being's nature. I was just terrified that after my death, my body would rot, decay, and eventually become nothing. Yeah. That's why only one thought remained burning in my mind as I laid on the verge of death. I don't want to die. I want to extend the contract. Thus, the thing that had lost its old shell, known as the Holy Grail, found a new home in me by forming a contract. And there we have it. Who has the Holy Grail? Buzzet has the Holy Grail. Who made this thing happen and continue? Buzzet made it continue. Why? Not wanting to die / Kirei. I lost consciousness the very next moment. And the next time you woke up would have been the scene we saw. The usual scene. She wakes up staring at a slightly familiar ceiling. That is... I died. But even in death, the wish-granting device, now a heroic spirit bound by contract, continues to function. Because the wish, the command was already made. So what's left here is my corpse. A pitiful misconception, repeating the same 4 days indefinitely, frolicking forever inside a walled garden. Had my last wish been, I want to be resurrected, I doubt he'd have been able to grant it even then. He said it himself. The dead cannot revive the dead. To give form to the dead is a privilege reserved only for the living. Ooh. That's why the most he can do is deceive the soul. He preserves the soul separated from the body, and for as long as the contract is in force, he will play this convenient dream with real life set as its stage. Holy shit. There we have it. There's the plot. There's the mystery. There's the reason for repeats. And its mechanics. Wow. Wow. The title thing / the church thing. Or the chapter thing, sorry. It's lavishly ornamented. A hollow, like a cradle, built in the depths of slumber. Yup, hollow, fake, ataraxia, keys, contentness. That's right. This never-ending Holy Grail war itself is what Buzzet wished for. And that servant was my very own wish-granting Holy Grail. Wow. Applauds. This. I finally get to the... Oh, we switched POV. Yeah, we're now in his POV. Oh boy, how long have we been going? Hour 40. I finally get to the church, several minutes behind Buzzet, okay? Okay, Avenger. I knew this fleet-footed lady ought to seek refuge here. For Buzzet Freyga Macromids, this church is the last bit of support she can rely on. It's also the one place she should never set foot in. Yeah.
オルガンが聞こえやがる。面倒なことになってなけりゃいいんだが。
Yeah. This would also, you know, now that we've learned that we've explained how this works, he Avenger is deceiving the soul. Yeah, that's why Bazette that's why Avenger continued to lie to Bazette in order to keep this going, in order to keep her wish going. She should not know these things because it will crush her. It will kinda not invalidate, but make the wish a mute point. Even though, judging by her good mood earlier, I can expect to meet with instant death if I face her right now, I'm not the kind of servant who would abandon his master when she's at her most desperate. Aww. Preparing myself for the possibility that my head is about to part ways with my body, I fumble in the darkness until my hands find the floor. A door, sorry. Ooh, good transition. Great transition and great blocking away her face. That's good directing. Inside the abandoned building, there's a woman feebly hanging her head. Yeah. And at the altar, there's a silver flower in bloom.
よう、その様子じゃほとんど思い出したってところだな。
Yeah. So, what now? The woman doesn't answer. Looks like she calmed down, but guess she's still mad at me.
ありゃ、まだご機嫌斜めですか。
Your flippant, chipper, jovial, nonchalant way of talking and, going through life is something else.
仕方ないな。特別サービスだ。本当は聞かれなきゃ答えないんだが、ここは包み隠さず、正直に世界の仕組みを説明してや。
必要ありません。
Ooh. Opening the eye, looking directly at him. There's the cold exterior of a shell she's built. What I'm really scared is what is going on inside.
あなたが答えるべきことは2つだけだ。
Oh, I feel like you are regarded as an enemy right now. She cuts me short. There was no emotion in the words she shot at me. The woman has become a machine. Yeah, she's definitely displaying her cold exterior form. In that case, there's no need for me to stay human either. Oh shit.
私が望む限り、聖杯戦争は終わらない。
That would be the idea. Yes.
聖杯戦争が続く限り、私は死なない。
Yes. That's fine then. She passes me as she heads out of the church. Oh no. What are we going to do? Is she gonna just become a determinator and just push through this? I don't know. I can't believe it. Right now, I'm genuinely shocked. Like, did she manage to resolve the internal stuff within her and come to a conclusion, or is this a fake outward appearance, a hollow appearance she's putting on? What is she thinking? What is she thinking?
待て。
Oh.
ならいいってなんだ。ここまで来て振り出しに戻るのか？
Are you accepting just repeating this cycle?
1日目に戻るのはいつものことでしょ。今さら何を言うのです、あなたは。
Oh, wow. The tables have been turned. Well,
わからないな。からくりを知ったんだろ？
hmm.
ならもういいはずだ。この世界は死にかけだ。終わらないが続かない。そんなところにいたって何にもならないじゃないか。
それは外の世界も同じことです。
Oh.
私も、私を取り巻く世界も、それを許す世界そのものも、国崩壊しだしている。
I feel like that line there is making me think that she is going down a very dangerous path. I feel like she's slowly going through the same mindset as the boy who would eventually become Angra. She's going to change. Oh no. Maybe. I don't know.
再生はない。あとはただ、滅びをどれだけ緩やかに引き伸ばすかだけの話だ。
How sad is that? How fucking sad is that? Did we actually arrive at that quote-unquote logical conclusion, or what's going on? Talk to me. She's terrified. She's saying she's terrified of the inevitable death. I mean, I would be too, yeah.
私たちは未来のない世界に生きている。そんな現実に戻るなら、ここで永遠に繰り返していた方がいい。そうだ。もっと早く気がつけばよかった。裏切られたからって悲観することはない。元から私には何もなかった。あんな場所で生きるぐらいなら、4日間しか続かなくても、ここで生き続けた方がマシだ。
That's wrong. Being weak is fine, but stalling in here is a bit of a waste. What was it that you struggled to breathe up until now for?
こっちのがマシか。それこそ何を今更口にする。現実が厳しいなんてそんなことあんたは生まれた時から分かっていたんじゃないのか。
She's pessimistic because she's weak. However, it's swallowing up that weakness and dying. That's the number one sign of being human. That's what the priest was saying. Aww.
話はここまでです。戦いを続けます。
Continue the fight.
あなたは私のサーバントだ。私の方針に従っていればいい。
Oh boy. Yeah. Bazette is leaving the church. This is completely beyond my expectations. I thought that once she regained her memories, she would reject this silliness once and for all. I mean, maybe she will and she's just in denial right now.
こりゃ、もう一押し必要かな。
Methinks. Unfortunately, I can't really think of anything. Well, whatever. If the master intends to fight, the servant oughta just follow along. Yeah. With the reveal of Bazette actually having died long ago, I'm not sure if I ever predicted that idea. Maybe I did. What's just came to my mind right now. I'll say it in case it becomes like an actual thing at the end of this. Is so far, we've gone through 6 chapters, so to speak. There's the 1 slash something. There was 5 slash void, 5 slash forest, and now we are at 6 slash Angramainu. Is there going to be a 7th final one? Not only for the sake of, mirroring the 7 servants, supposed servants, even though there's now 8, but also it would kinda go along with the Dante's Inferno 7 layers of hell idea. Ooh, that's fun. If that's the case, I just wanted to mention that in case after this scene, the chapter title switches to 7 slash, I don't know, hell or something. The one last push will be a job left for the hero of justice. Hello, Shiro. I need a Shiro.
あなたはまだ続けるのですか?
Oh, Karen just being an observant. An observer, yeah. There's a woman standing at the altar. She's so sensitive, she might just die if I get any closer. Yeah, you're just pure curses. The distance between us now is the closest we can manage. It's not like we could ever talk to or touch each other to begin with.
仕方ないだろう。契約者が続けるって言うんだ。使い魔が自分から契約破棄したら、魔術師のルールが壊れる。
Well, caster.
わかりました。確かに、あなたの立場ではそれが最善でしょう。
Her tone is cool and indifferent. For one of your standing, that certainly would be the best course of action. Yeah, I guess, in a sense, continuing to fight forever would mean hate, and that's what he lives off of. Since neither one of us cares much for the other's existence, our conversations are never any longer than they need to be. However, for whatever reason,
あなたに会いました。とても楽しそうだった。
Now what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I met you. You seemed to be enjoying yourself. Why are you telling this to him as if he doesn't know that? Is that because you met Shiro and Shiro seemed to be enjoying himself? Game. She brings up something unnecessary.
ま、楽しい分にはいいだろうさ。
Avenger acknowledges but doesn't elaborate. I give a vague reply. Whether I should show joy or envy, react with surprise or with sorrow. Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, it could be that line could be just referring to a previous timeline of him having fun,
外でマスターが待ってる。そろそろ出るぜ。
The atmosphere's getting awkward. So, let's get this over with.
忠告してあげるわ。契約を切るか、このまま続けて終わってしまうか。どちらにせよ、彼女は救われないでしょう。
Yeah. The only thing that would save her is an actual true sorcery or a new untainted holy grail.
ならいっそこのまま
I don't wanna hear it. Her statement isn't even correct in the first place. Ooh.
まさか助けを求めるのなら救われないものはない。
Oh, that's an interesting line coming from you. Oh.
どんなものであれ最後には救われるんだ。
Okay.
呆れたそれをあなたが言うのアンリマユ
Yeah. Andrimayu. Angramainu.
もちろん。ま、俺の言う救いは人間の救いじゃないがね。
I ain't got no clue about about bringing salvation while alive, unfortunately. Yeah. Just letting the soul rest afterwards, you know, giving it the proper dignity and respect, and correcting any mistakes or, you know, misconceptions people might have had about that person while they were alive. That's salvation. Those that fell into despair can't be changed. So instead, you just need to switch that despair with something more meaningful. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Okay. Yeah, go off, King. As one lies on their deathbed, being able to savor the illusion of a well-spent life in their final moments ought to bring happiness to any human. Ooh. But you know what that feels like? That feels kinda fake. One might even say hollow. Or one might say fate strange fake. I don't know.
ねえ今でも本当にこの願いを終わらせたい
当たり前だ。もう何億回繰り返したと思ってやがる。いい加減飽き飽きでお先真っ暗だよ。
Millions of times, yeah.
嘘つき
Liar. Okay. Huh. The woman goes up the stairs. In the end, I'm the only one left in the chapel, which is so funny. All the evil in the world alone in the house of God.
何億回か。
A string of ordinary days that I already know everything there could possibly be to know about. A world dimming ever so slightly with every new event. A world that I've never personally experienced, but where everything is known to me at the same time. Oh, yeah. There are still some gaps in it, but I'm sure even those are just worthless bits of data life. Yeah, you don't necessarily know every single detail, like 3 houses down from Shiro's, what time of day they boil their tea or whatever, but you know just about everything. Well, anyway.
嘘つきって俺を誰だと思ってやがる。アベンジャーが正直者のわけねえだろうが。
True. But I don't know. Now that I know this whole thing, I feel like I can trust you more. Even though you are sly and hate everything and, lie, you're still, it's still in benefit of Bazette. Being criticized for lying doesn't put me in a good mood. That's for sure. Just what does that woman think I am anyway? Wow. And that's a question we are leaving off. 7. Cradle Hollow. Oh, yeah, that feels like a final chapter. Oh, flashbang. Flashbang, both color, voice, and also music. We're not doing that right now. Oh, holy shit. There we have it. It has all been revealed. Oh my god. Oh my god. 7/Hollow Cradle. Yep. Either this 7th one is the final one because, 7 servants, 7 layers of hell or whatever. Or the 8th one is the final one because, Bizet was the 8th master technically. Well, she was supposed to be the 7th, but that went to Kirei. One really cool idea that I didn't really touch upon was just like the Throne of Heroes, the backstory with Angra and the fact that he was kinda just created then and there and just materialized then and there. That is such a cool piece of like world building, lore building, whatever you want to call it. I really liked that. Yeah. Wow. This game. And we didn't even get anything from that to our wallpapers, right? Still missing a bunch of them. Wow. Okay, how much was that? Just 0.4? Just 0.4. It is what it is. I wonder if I have more playtime here than in my original save already. We'll see. I will eventually find them out and tally the play duration together at the very end. Oh, everything has been revealed. There we go. There we go. Is it already 7 p.m.? Holy shit, it is. Damn. Okay. Well, where do we go next? I mean, we were given a line by Avenger that I will leave the rest to you, Mr. Ally of Justice. So, do we try to change Bizet's mind and let her accept her own end? Do we try to bring peace to her? Because as far as we know, we can't really save her from death. We can save her dignity. We can give her a proper send-off if she accepts herself. But beyond that, I don't know. Also, how fucking perfect was the choice of my thumbnail background from the very beginning. A fractured Bizet fracturing the top of her head, her sealing away her own memories, just fully ignoring that, self-reflecting her own hollowness while not realizing, not wanting to admit to herself what has happened. Holy shit, that is such a thematically potent image. Wow. I have a couple of thumbnail ideas for this video. Not sure which one I'll use. A couple of them are just shots from the events this time, but I have this one cool idea. I'm not sure if it's gonna end up being a thumbnail, but one idea I might want to put is the mirror image, but replace the top part where the crack would be, replace that with Avengers design. That would be fun. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Anyways, I guess next time we'll be going into the whatever will be the conclusion of this game. I'm not sure if there will be any more like events, or if there is still one full chapter and some silliness to go through, but I guess that's for us to see the next time. Yeah, cool. Okay, Patreon, early access up to 2 weeks. Links down in the description. Cool. See ya.